Assalamu alaikum. My name is MD Maidul Islam. In this video, I will discuss some crucial topics from the database, especially from the SQL. Okay, if I talk about firstly, so what is the foreign key and why it's important in relational database? Okay, basically a foreign key is a key that is used to a table uh, to create a relationship with another table. Uh, in more details, if I talk about, for example, I have a table whose name is users and another table name is bookings. So in user table, I have a column whose name is user ID, but in bookings table, there is another column whose name is also user ID. Mainly here in bookings tables, so bookings is not possible to create automatically, so it will be created through a user. So here in bookings table, user ID is a foreign key that is also a key in the user table. So here a primary key in user table, a primary key user ID is working as a foreign key here in the booking table as a foreign key. So if I want to talk about the exact definition, foreign key is a key that's that make a relationship between two tables. Basically this is the foreign key that is that main purpose to create relationship with two or more tables. Okay, then if we talk about what is the difference between where and having clause in SQL. So where and having clause mainly used in SQL, both for the filtering data, but here are some differences between where and having. For example, where mainly used to before grouping the data. For example, if I want to see that all data where where if I add a condition, for example, if I want to see that all data from the bookings table or from the vehicles table where mainly all vehicle status are available. So in that case, I have to use where, for example, select all from the vehicles where availability where status equals to available. So here mainly where clause used before the grouping or before by grouping this clause, and on the other hand having clause is used to after the grouping. For example, if I want to see the data uh, if I want to see the data of this vehicle that booking count is greater than 2, so in that scenario I have to use for example use select all from vehicles, and from vehicles where here I have to use group by, for example, status or vehicles. Then I have to use the having clause to filtering the data that available that booking count is greater than 2. Okay, basically mainly these are the difference between where and having clause. And if I move forward to the third question, so what is the primary key and what are its characteristics? Well, so mainly primary key is an important part or concept in database system. Not only SQL, not only Postgres, but also all database language, for example SQL, MySQL, and so on. So if I want to uh, express the definition of primary key, mainly primary key is a column or set of column that mainly uniquely identify the table, that uniquely identify the rows of a table. For example, uh, I have two table, and one is users and another one is um, for example vehicles. So here I have a user ID. So this is the primary key. Here I can easily identify a unique user using this user ID. And on the other hand, if I see in the vehicle tables, for example, here is the vehicle ID. This is the primary key for the vehicle ID. So using this vehicle ID, I can uniquely identify is vehicles or is row. Basically, this is the primary key. So if we repeat again, primary key is a column or set of columns on a table that uniquely identify the rows. So then what are the characteristics of a primary key? So our primary key should be unique. That means a primary key always will be unique. It cannot be null. So as it is unique, so it cannot be null. And thirdly, here in a table, primary in a table only one primary key will be exist. That means in a table it will not be possible to exist two or more primary key. So as the definitions say, primary key is a unique identifier. So in a table a primary key must be one exist, not multiple. And then we use primary key to keep clean our database, also the integrity of database, and it helps to keep relationship with other tables. Why I'm telling this one? Because if I want to use foreign key, so primary key is used to another table and make a reference or relationship between two tables. And it lastly, if I say the another characteristics of primary key, mainly it will improves our performance in a database. Okay, then if I talk about the last question here, what is the difference between inner join and left join in SQL? Well, mainly inner join and left join both are used to combine two or multiple tables in a database. Well, then what is inner join? Inner join, mainly the concept is, for example, I have two table, for example user tables and booking tables. So inner join work here only um, the left tables and right tables, অর্থাৎ the user tables and booking tables, only that data will be displayed that row are perfectly matched. For example, I have a user table and also and booking tables. So in the booking tables and user tables there will be relationship when I join this. For example, user ID in the user tables, and another is in the booking tables also have the user ID. That means in the booking tables, here the user ID refers or means that from the user table that particular user booked these vehicles. So here only matching data will be shown in the inner table, and if the data are not matched, then it will exclude and it will ignore this row. Mainly inner join work through the row, and only that row particularly match with both table. On the other hand, left join is highly give priority with the left table. For example, when we write the condition or when we write the query, for example, select everything from the for example users table. So here from the user table, this is mainly my left table or the primary table. And when we write the other query like left join, mainly here the main priority is left table. So ultimately the result will be show left join, all data will be displayed from the left table, and if the other data cannot match with the right table, then it will be display as a null. Here main purpose or main concept is the first table or the left table will be given the high priority. Basically that's all about the database system and some important concept about the database. Thank you for watching.